And we are live. Today's different. This Sunday bar is different. I have been known to think about things futuristically and stuff, but this time around, let me take this off. Okay. Y'all can see me in the chat. Today's different. Because think about, look what we talking about today. I'm trying to put that, there we go. Boom. Look what we talking about today. Becoming more present versus moving too fast or moving too slow. Becoming more present. I'm present. Becoming more. You'll never just be all the way present. Because think about it. If you could be all the way present, you wouldn't come back. And there's systems in place to snatch your distractions and snatch your attention. So a famous person could be going shopping for corn on the cob and broccoli, and oh my God, this celebrity is doing this, and snatching my attention. So becoming more present versus moving too fast or slow. Today is Sunday, October 2nd, 2022. The show intentions are the same: to wake up all compatible listeners and viewers. All right, so again, becoming more present. The definition of present is the time that is associated with the events perceived directly and in first time. Seconds. How many seconds? No. And in first time, not as a recollection or speculation. It's a period of time between the past and the future. Remember, we talked about the present. It's a period of time between the past and the future, and can vary in meaning from being an instant to a day or even longer. All right, like in present day. You know what I'm saying? In present times, like, you know where I'm going. So I like that. It's just a period of time between past and future. So past and future, a period of time between past and future. So the period, you got to follow the period. The period is the now, and we're going to go deeper into that. So did you know that perfect timing works very well in present times? Because the present moment has access to everything and all laws, principles, everything. Yes, everything is in the now, right now. But in that, another second has passed. I know, right now. So remember, it's the period of time between past and future. Okay? So we live in perfect timing. Have you ever ran late to like a meeting or a so-called important event, and you end up being late to it, and it being the end of the world, and then you meet the love of your life, and at the so-called bad time, but it was like perfect time for your love life? This also works well with viewing your so-called past problems from hindsight. So, but when it comes to foresight, I remember Dr. Joe Dispenza saying, the mind can predict future problems. And I was like, I wanted to know how. So I was like, let me break down, I'm breaking down, what he was talking about. And y'all tell me y'all perspectives on this. He said to be present. Oh, let me get my daughters. He said to be present, should the mind surrender to the body? Because the body's always present, while the mind has the ability to go to the past, to the present, to the so-called future. Once your mind visits all or any of these places or realities, the body then reacts presently, no matter where your mind location is. Even when you're out of your mind, your body is, I'll do this, be out of your mind like that. If the body reacts to current situations or a current situation with emotions derived from a familiar but separate past trauma, it usually is a subconscious thought. So that turns into a subconscious thought. But if one tries to interpret the mind then it can be a way of the mind surrendering to the present body. While many people like me believe that the body is the student copier, you said the body is the student copier, yes, of all things mental. So the body is the student copier of all things mental, since the body can't work without the mind. So again, Dr. Joe Dispenza also said that paying attention is being present. The more you practice it, the better you will be at it. He said, you know when someone is present with you in your life because they're giving you certain levels of attention. And you know when they're not present with you because they're not paying attention to you. He said there's an intelligence that gives you life that's always present. And many people don't pay attention to it. They don't take time to connect with it by being present. So if where you place your attention is where you place your energy, and all your energy and all your attention is in the present moment, then you have a lot of energy in the present moment. So put that energy to best use. Oh, you're using your now energy to think about the past? Jason, I'm always tired. What do you think could be wrong with me? Well, I say I bet your mind is on everything but the present moment, where you are the strongest. Joe Dispenza also said, according to the quantum model of reality. So again, not my opinion. You know, I like to study different perspectives, but according to the quantum model of reality, all possibilities exist in the internal now. He also said your brain is a record of the past. It's an artifact. And then 3, it circuits everything you learned and everything you experience at this moment. So some people wake up and they think about their problems. Those problems are connected to certain people, certain things, and certain times and certain places. So as soon as they start thinking about their problems, means that they're turning on those circuits of the past through their memories. So all those memories are connected to emotions, and emotions are the end products to past experiences. Emotions like anger, frustration, disgust, judgment, hatred, to name a few. So if how you think and how you feel creates your state of being, and thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body, means that the person experiencing the entire state of being is in a familiar past. And when you are in a familiar past, you crave the predictable future. Joe Dispenza also said, when a person wakes up, now again, you waking up in the morning, when a person wakes up and does all this, they are also waking up, coming to their senses. They check their cell phones. They do all their social media behaviors. They text. He said they take a picture of their feet and they post it. Some of y'all probably do that. They check their email. They check another email. They check the news. Watch this. Watch how sick this is. And now their entire brain is back connected to everything known in their life. And then they get out of bed. And they stand up and they go through the... Now check how sick this is. This is sick. They get out of bed. They stand up. And they go through a series of routine behaviors. They use the toilet. They go to the kitchen. They have a cup of coffee or tea. They take a shower. They even wash themselves the same way. They put on clothes the same way. They eat their cereal or whatever food the same way. Watch this. Facing the same directions. They drive to work the same way. They do the same things. See the same people that push their same emotional buttons. And they do this every day. Now their body is programmed into a predictable future. I know how you're going to end up. Just tell me about your day. Tell me about your day, and I'll tell you how you're going to end up. You're locked in. Based upon what they did in the past. So again, now their body is programmed into a predictable future based upon what they did in their past and how they lost their free will to a program. And don't get it twisted, man is coming up on machines. Machines is replacing men, humans. So please don't get it twisted. Don't act like, I don't even know, So wave bye-bye to free will if y'all don't know how to be present and know what's going on in present times. So now Joe Dispenza also said, if you are not getting up in the morning, being defined by a vision of the future, then you will be predictable in your life and you are left with the old memories of your past. He also said, the stronger the emotion you have for a problem or a person in your present reality, the more you're going to pay attention to that person or problem. And if where you place your attention is where you place your energy, all of your energy and attention are going to all those different people, problems, and places. And now, all those people, problems, and places have a neurological network in your brain. All of those people's problems and places have a neurological network in your brain. Now throw in some chemicals of stress. And now as you shift your attention from one person to one problem, you're activating those circuits, and a brain that is doing that. Yeah, I'm doing that because people brag about that. And a brain that is doing that is very incoherent. And when the brain is incoherent, you are incoherent. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. Do you want to heal from this? No, I'm sorry. My apologies. Do you all want to presently heal from this? Once you bring all of your energy back, bring your energy back. They did this to me. Bring your energy back. They did this to me back then, and this happened, and again, you messing it up because you thinking about it so long, you putting rims on it. Yeah, they hit me in the head with a hammer, and you adding stuff to it. Bring your energy back. Bring all of your energy back to the point where you can't remember anything bad that anybody did anything to you. I can't remember. Bring all your, you'll miss some people, but bring all your energy back. True healing happens here now. Because that other thing that you were doing, that other thing that you was trying to do was management of chaos. Now, a side effect of this successful happening is joy. When the last time y'all had joy? I had fun. I didn't say that. When's the last time you had joy? Watch this. What's your definition of joy? I know you haven't experienced joy because it's not about my definition. It would definitely be coming from your definition. And we would merge definitions maybe, but that definition would come from you because you experience joy so much. Who could tell you what it is? So you probably didn't experience it. So when building or rebuilding your foundation, stay away from doing things fast. During most times, I want to say all the times, but during most times, fast, I can't say all the time, I'm sorry. During most times, fast is not your friend. Let's take food. Fast and food should never go into a compound word. And that's forwards and backwards. Let's try it. Fast food or food fast. But thanks to duality, unless this means you're fasting from food versus receiving food fast, you see where I'm going. Okay, so more terrible usage of the word fast. Fast surgery. A fast hairdo. Fast shaving. Ow. Ah. Fast waxing. Yeah, right. That's a lawsuit. Fast driving. Whoop, whoop. Fast muscle gain. Shout out to everybody doing steroids. That's healthy. Living the fast life. Fast is related to rushed. And fast is definitely close kin to quick. Don't get me wrong about moving fast. Because again, if a bear is chasing you, you want to move fast, faster, and fastest. So don't get me wrong. That's why I said I believe in duality. But have the ability to understand context. And be like, oh, he's not talking about this side of duality. Exactly. But I put that in there for somebody who could be watching this in the future that says, well, what if a bear is chasing you? Yeah, you will want to move fast. Faster than the people that the bear is chasing and faster than the bear. Don't just rely on just be faster than everybody. Say fast, be the fastest. But let's go back into the context of what I'm talking about. And when you're running fast, let's just try it. Have you ever walked and enjoyed the scenery? Yeah. Have you ever ran as fast as you could and enjoyed the scenery? No, because you can't focus when you're doing fast running. Okay. When you're driving fast, like 100, 120, 150, 200, are you enjoying the scenery or can that get you killed? How much can you really focus on during a fast experience? We got it done, though, but how much can you really focus on during a fast experience? Now, does your addiction or marriage to your cell phone take you away from being present? Is your life all about making social media, movie clips, and tweetable moments? Yeah, if I'm making millions. Shout out to the children who had to endure being laughed at for posting content, and you're a multimillionaire and you're like still living at your mom's house, dressing funny, and you secretly a millionaire. I've been meeting these kids. This is crazy. So, living your life in a rearview mirror. I'm just looking. I'm just staying in the past. I'm just stuck in the past. Well, hold on, Jason. Hold on. You don't forgive certain people. No. I forgive everybody. But when you know how people are, do you say, oh my God, I forgive this pit bull that just bit me? Yeah, you can forgive the pit bull, but are you going to put your children around that pit bull again? Man, this pit bull be biting everybody. Here's my newborn baby, pit bull. No, you can forget a pit bull, but that don't mean the fact that we even still saying that disclaimer. I believe I have a dream that we ain't gonna have disclaimers like that soon. So again, shout out to other people living in the rearview mirrors, or shout out to all the futuristic people. Shout out to all the people who will be misunderstood until thousands of years from now. Both of those realities, living in the rearview mirror or living too far in the front, will keep you away from Christmas life, your Christmas life, because the presence or the present can't exist around you. So your Christmas life is messed up. Because there's no presence in you, Seth. Now, multitasking. Oh, you know we're going to talk about the people that multitask and brag about it. I want to stop this bragging on. When problems are around, we lobby to change them. When policies are horrible, we lobby to change them. We brag about multitasking. And there's an inflation on multitasking. So multitasking is not being able to do many things well versus thinking about how multitasking allows you to do more things wrong. Being in the present the right way helps you to do things right the first time. It is very underrated to be present. Our breathing is so present that sometimes we know but forget that we're breathing. To truly live a meaningful life, one must live in balance. Remain present, but go to school in your past and go to school in your future and work it out in the present. Being present does not mean being perfect. Shout out to the people we even had to say that for. Now let's properly balance out the past, okay? If the best parts of the past didn't exist, then how could you even really know the best present experiences are? But remember, being present is not about being perfect. It's about learning. So much of our time is spent thinking about being elsewhere. Jason, are you seeing people show up places to have experiences, but we're not there? We're thinking about all the stuff that we have to do, and we're not getting the best out of that experience? Let me tell you why. Because again, transitioning is hard. If you really experience the most out of this experience, but you have to be here at a certain time to experience the best out of this experience, and then you have to be here at this certain time, most people would say that's an impossible life to live. If you study hospice, people in hospice or people that know that they're dying, they live like that. They get the best out of this experience. They get the best out of this experience. They get the best out of this experience. Their gratitude. Now again, for all the exceptional learners, we know there's people that be like, no, I know my uncle. We're not talking about your uncle. We're talking about this specific group of duality that definitely has the opposite. If I'm talking about up, don't be the person in the room talking about down. You see what I'm saying? We talking about up stuff. You know, down exists because so much of our time is spent thinking about elsewhere. I'm here, but I'm elsewhere. Everywhere I go, I'm elsewhere. It's a virtue to accept that there is nowhere else to be but in the now. Let your to-do list be elsewhere. Wake up in the morning when you planning your life. Let your meditation be your elsewhere. But once you got a schedule and an alarm clock, is for other people that just can't remember stuff, let your schedule be your secretary. Let your schedule be your now. And experience every section and chunk of your life. It's a virtue to accept that there's nowhere else to go or else to be but in the now. Albert Camus says, man is the only creature who refuses to be what he is. I say, no, this is what some people say. People keep saying bad things about the work that I am doing. And that's what I told my daughters. I say that people are doubting how far you can go. Then you go so far that you can't hear them. What, you going to change the way they feel about you? You shouldn't even be able to hear that. So how can we move slow like nature? Slow it down. Don't rush things. You will feel in control. Nature is slow. I'm going to say this again really slow. Nature is slow, but everything gets accomplished. Oh, a hater want to say something. Well, hurricanes and tornadoes move fast. Well, according to animals, sir, or ma'am, or all of y'all, or some of y'all, well, according to animals, nature will still slowly tell us when life is about to get real fast on her planet. Now, do you even know what and where the sources of happiness is? Watch this. In your present moments. I'm present. Okay, if you're present, what are the source of your present moments? This would influence you to have more, to be more present if you don't know. You see what I'm saying? So many people be like, well, I'm present. And again, well, what's the source of your happiness in your presence? In your different sections of presence? I don't know. So you probably don't do it. How can you do stuff that you can't explain? It's just a feeling that you're going to go with that. Okay. The present, the now, the present is the reality where the mind manifests in the 3D. The present. I'm going to build that in the future. You won't build nothing in the future because by the time you build it, it will be the present that's in the future. Man, if I can go back in time, you will never go back in time because you will go back to a present time and back in time, but it still will be a present. The present is the reality. The present is the reality where the mind manifests in the 3D. You know how they say, just do it because you're here, just do it. Well, let me think. Life is short and anxious for those who forget their past. Let me say that slower. Life is short and anxious for everybody, for those who forget their past, neglect their present, and fear the future. The past can be painful. The future can be fearful. But now is the present. The past can be painful. The future can be fearful. But the now is the present. Eckhart Tolle said, realize deeply that the present moment is all you'll ever have. Reality is overlapping present moments with the ability to think backwards and the unconscious ability to hypothesize forward. Did you know that most fearful children, now this is super funny. I've talked about this with so many, parents, children, the whole nine. Did you know that the most fearful children aren't present after scary movies? What do you mean they're not present after scary movies? The day before a child watches a scary movie. So I didn't say the day of. I said the day before a child watches a scary movie. You will notice that no scary monsters live in their house. Watch this. Show how powerful the mind is. But did you know that the very second after the scary movie or scary experience happens is the very moment the so-called scary monsters magically moves in the house and starts terrorizing the children? Oh my God, there's monsters. The monsters moved in right after you watched the movie. But the day, I always ask children, were the monsters the day before you watched that movie? Because you can snap your children out of being scared of stuff by asking them questions that they can't answer. Hey, little Timmy. Hey, little Sarah. I know you're scared. But the day before you watched that movie, where did the monsters live? Did the monsters live on Netflix? And if your parents are old school, did they live on that DVD? Or if your parents are really old, did the monsters live on that VHS tape? Now let's briefly unpack. Now this is good because I still don't think we're really breaking down multitasking. Y'all brag about that. Multitasking stops people from being present. But let's briefly unpack it. there's really no such thing as multitasking. It's more so singular tasking or single tasking. But you're just jumping back from one thing to the other real quick. It's not multitasking. I'm going to say it again. It's more so singular tasking or single tasking, but you're just jumping back and forth from one thing to the other thing really quick. I'm multitasking, singular tasking. Remember, all that exists is in the present moment. Yes, everything actually is in the present moment, yes. Are the unfolding of moments. Are the unfolding of presence. Not the unfolding of the past or future, the unfolding of the presence. That's where all the energy, that's where everything literally is happening. It's right now. Why he doing his hands like that? Some people get it. Some people shouldn't even be listening to this. They probably didn't even make this far. Why do your so-called doctors focus on your insides more than you do? Please stay focusing on your inner body and inner realities at least more than your doctors. Now, my doctor gonna take care of my inside my body. Multitasking does exist. You just said it didn't. Multitasking does exist. Remember duality. So this is the dual side. Now this is deep though. So multitasking doesn't exist, and then multitasking does exist. Due to the sheer fact that your brain has to process the information coming from both of your eyes, 1, 2, right, left, 2. So multitasking does exist due to the sheer fact that your brain has to process the information again coming from both of your eyes, different hemispheres, parallel processing of the brain with multiple information streams to choose from. So what's your brain doing? So in later lectures, we will talk about some scientific brain distractions between the ear and the nose, and between the nose and the eye. So multitasking is good for survival, but it should never be bragged about from a daily standpoint. I'll say that again. Multitasking is good for survival. We had to multitask to survive. But it should never be bragged about on it from a daily standpoint. Like, I multitask every day. In part 1 of this series of being present, it doesn't mean discarding all things. So then close. This was fun, and I think this is going to be a series. So I'm already putting this out there. I'll piece it together with a video in the future. But right now, in this part 1 of this series of being present, doesn't mean discarding all things without a plan. I just don't need a plan. I'm just going to not think in the future. I'm just going to be present. And I didn't say that, and you're just not listening, right? So it doesn't mean discarding all the things without a plan. Yet, being present to some people is an increase of awareness. I'm actually going to look at people in their eye when they talk to me. Yep. I'm growing, everybody. I'm going to look up from my phone and look at people when they talk to me. Nope, better yet. I want to put my phone in my pocket or my purse, or I'm really growing. I'm going to leave my phone in my car, and I'm going to just go and meet with them and be human. Yep, be human. I'm going to be a human. Yep. I know I'm growing. So being present to some people is just an increase of awareness. While other people, they can't be present. They got to be present like Buddha. They got to dress. So again, they got to dress a certain way. They got to talk a certain way. They might have to grow their hair out in locks, and they might have to sit Indian style, and they might have to talk like this. And that's how they're present. Don't judge them. That's how they're present. That's cool for them. Whatever your definition of present is, just make sure it works for you and the people you cherish around you. All right? Remember, the Sadhguru quote, He said you cannot suffer the past or future because they don't exist. What you're suffering from is your memory and your imagination. Thank you for joining me for another Sunday Bars presentation. Looking forward to building with you next time. I'm going to turn off this live. Shoot them questions. I see the chat is blowing up. Peace and love.